Hello everyone and welcome to the ghost town of Amsterdam Schiphol Airport at 4:25 a.m. in the morning. Today we will be flying from Amsterdam Schiphol Airport to, no, not Los Angeles over there, that's very far afield, a bit less exciting, Rome Fiumicino. Well, it's less exciting if you're based in Europe because it's just closer by. So at the moment we find ourselves at the F pier of AMS Airport. As you can see here, completely empty. The first flight out there is not until 10, so that's in about just over 5 hours time. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading to the transfer gates because our flight is at the C pier. So let's start walking and just walking through the airport. As you can see, it's a complete ghost town. Completely empty. There's a few people lingering around. We're in Airside. We've been in Airside the whole night. If you want to see that video, make sure to just go back. It'll be linked in this video as well, and you can watch the first part of this trip, which was on board KL1601 from Dublin to Amsterdam on board an Embraer 175. Our next flight will be on board a A321neo. I haven't checked yet what the aircraft ID is. That will always be in the description. We'll let you know in a few moments as well. What we're doing here is just taking a quick look at the pier. As you can see, it's a nice little tour of Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. You'll never see it this quiet. If you're here during the day, it's mad busy. This is, I think, the second or third busiest airport in Europe, obviously after Heathrow and potentially CDG. But I should know the stats. But I'll let you know in the description below. But as you can see here, nice and empty. So there are a few people sleeping about on those kind of benches that are made ideal for sleeping, although with the bright lights, it won't necessarily be the best experience. We'll be sitting in seat 34A towards the back of the aircraft. This is a seat I bought. But we didn't have to buy it in retrospect because they gave me window seats on all three flights, which was quite chuffed about. This is part 2 of a 3-part journey. The third journey being on board ITA Airways, which used to be Alitalia, going from Fiumicino to Sofia. There's a water fountain so you can hydrate, and actually that's what we're going to do. And it's broken. Well, there you go. There was one that was working. So anyway, on we continue towards the sea gate. It says it's a 25-minute walk. It's about a half an hour walk from here, so it is an absolutely massive terminal. It's all in one terminal, and then the gates are by piers, all modernised as well. And my bag is creating quite the noise pollution, so I do apologise for anyone that's trying to sleep at this hour in the airport. There's always been people lingering about. And that's the other thing, even if you try to sleep here, avoid the escalators. Those escalators are really noisy, and you'll keep hearing them. Here's probably the best place to take refuge. It's much dimmer, so bear that in mind. There's some benches there, so that is near F4. So if you're out here, go near F4. However, the only thing is, actually, it looks dimmer from here, but it also depends on the lights, because we were over there, as you might have seen in the previous video, at F3, and those lights were quite bright. And I see it's the exact same lights there, so that just might be a look of the day kind of thing, where today the lights are put at a dimmer pace, but that's not necessarily to mean that it will always be like that. So I just took a quick look there because I was sitting there earlier. Just want to make sure I didn't leave anything behind, because that is always a possibility, and I don't fancy having a half-hour trek back. So as you can see here, there's a few people starting to pop up now. It's starting to become a bit busier. There's people kind of lingering from I have no idea where, but because the air terminal is so massive, especially at night, if you stay on Airside, you'll be grand. I don't know what landside is like, but that's the thing. That's the great thing about here. Airside's open 24 hours, and a lot of airports, Airside will shut between the hours of usually, I think it'll shut anyway, between like specific hours. But that's the benefit of a hub airport. It is running constantly. There's even actually some sort of construction works going on up there here until like 1 a.m. So now also you see that you can't, this is obviously not a 5D experience, you can't actually smell it, but there's now a smell of places opening up, so you can smell there's some sort of cheese. Not stuff that I'm a fan of. So anyway, now let's take a look at our flight, and then from there determine the direction that we need to head on. And look at this quite fancy 360 thing. So 710 Rome KL1601 C14. So what we need to do is We need to follow the signs, and as you can see, here's that way. This is kind of some sort of food court area and just like, you know, retail outlet area. And as you can see, stuff is still closed. Well, some stuff opens at 4 AM, but clearly not just yet. There's the KLM lounge for anyone that is on the higher tier of KLM or is flying business class. Business class person is not something that I would fly at if I have to pay out of pocket. But you know, lots of companies have policies that if a flight's over a certain hour length of time, you can automatically get business class. There's a nice little random elephant, and as you can see here, it is particularly bright. So if you're planning to stay overnight in Airside, I would avoid this area because it's really bright, and even with an eye mask, there's something about the lighting that just seeps through. You can feel it in your skin, I think. Maybe I'm just being dramatic, but wouldn't be me now. But anyway, you can see here, what's nice about this is it's a mass variety of different types of seats. So that way you can, you know, find something that suits you. Here's a bit dimmer, so that's also an option, but there isn't anywhere you can lie down and it's easy kind of suits you to sit down on. But actually, let's take a look over there. I just saw some reclines, and that actually might have been a better shot of trying to sleep if I'd done my research, but I landed here at like 11 PM. By the time I got here, it was about midnight, and to be honest, I was just too tired. And also, sometimes you kind of want to be in an area there's one or two other people there, just because that way there's no risk of someone stealing your stuff. And actually, seems to be all closed. Oh, there you go. So these are the chairs. Desk T6. So just take a quick nosy, just to show you what they look like and the different options that are available to you, and then we'll circle back. We have to go through passport control. Yes, so I'm not necessarily sure those would be the most comfortable, as you can see there, but definitely a good shot because it was dimmer there. So I'll know for next time if I ever find myself going through there. So yeah, as you can see here again, that's what it's like. It's just handy for, you know, just kind of lying down, because sometimes I think the issue is that when you don't have a pillow, you can make do with some sort of like clothing or something, but it just isn't the same. I think that's the thing, at least here in Schiphol they recognise that, look, the reality is there's always going to be people who are going to opt to sleep at the airport, and there's always going to be people who are going to opt not to pay for that. And you might as well provide some sort of service, especially because like when it's so big, you already get enough people who are willing to pay the obscene amounts of money, like 200 quid, to stay in the hotel in Airside. Personally, that's going to be more than your flights. Wouldn't be me, and it's going to be a lot of people that you can see here. So I am Amsterdam. So now we just need to continue upwards and up to C, and then take a look here. It's a nice dark area there, but I think that's some sort of lounge or staff area. Then here, if you take a look here, you have these were here last time we flew through here in April. Kind of just gives you what's on sale in Schiphol. I'll take one for the road. And it's definitely busier here than it was back at 11 PM, so it's picked up. As you can see, there's people about. This is one of the main F&B areas. There's a water fountain there as well. There's water fountains there, most toilets, ATMs, all sorts of services, all very modern, all quite nice, but as you expect, it does cost you. AMS would have higher airport fees. And interesting enough, also, the last flight was quite early. It was only at 11:10 yesterday, which was a Thursday. Which was just the Istanbul, and the first flight's at 5 AM. And the reason for that is because here in Amsterdam, they do have some serious noise quotas and quite controversial movement cap at night, which has been contentious. Basically, that means that you don't get many aircraft flying at night. And the other thing is Amsterdam also, you'll see the runways, the way they're laid out, basically just have aircraft flying over the city. So the sea gates should be somewhere through here, The only question is it still too early to pass through? If so, we'll just have to wait about and then get to the walking afterwards. I can't tell if it's open or not. It seems to be completely dead. So just look here, you have these cool bicycles on the table. It's a pretty cool design, pretty funky. And that is the hotel, so I think that's where you have the sleep pods, but they're like an insane money, probably they're like 200 quid a night. But yeah, that's what that's found. There's plenty of free options, as I demonstrated earlier in this video. Everything's closed, and then passport control opens at 5 AM, so in about 4 minutes. Right, so we're through the Schengen immigration control thing. Everything's open on this side, which makes sense because obviously most of the Schengen European flights will be earlier waves. Back there, it's mostly international long haul and a few like UK, Ireland flights, non-Schengen areas. So, books, magazines. I bought a plane model here last time for 20 quid, so trying to see if you can get another good deal as well. I can't remember if I bought it on that side, which is the I don't know if I bought it on the international side or the Schengen side, so I'm sure we'll find one shop here that sells them. I think it's over here actually. So yeah, I'll be back. So we are continuing on. So yeah, everything was open here, as you can see. I presume everything opened at 4. But obviously, we're going to get through here before 5 AM because that's when security opens. There's an immigration guy who was very friendly. He was the immigration guy, I mean like the security guy. Very friendly. He was asking a few questions. Just kind of like, oh, are you off to holidays? Blah blah blah. I was like, oh yeah, another transit. I was like, yeah, that was the feeling. So at this point, so I think a second that microphone. I think for a second the microphone's on my phone, but it's on my it's on me. It's on the wall of Amazon. So at this point we're just gonna head over to our gate. I need to charge my phone a bit. When you plan on buying anything, we'll get a free snack and drink on the flight. Anyway, I presume it's gonna be a small one of this one. So usually the ambulance will give you a sandwich, and like the city hoppers give you a sandwich. I think with the bigger aircraft they give you like some sort of banana bread or something like that, which is going for breakfast anyway. Some sort of like cake pastry kind of yolk. I'm not a big fan of cheese anyway. They love the cheese here and the dairy, so honestly, I won't complain if I can avoid that, even if it ends up being something sweet. I'm thinking like a coffee somewhere if I can find someone that has coffee, but Amsterdam Schiphol will be a bit expensive, and it's also the 4th busiest airport in Europe, 3rd by size in terms of surface area. Sorry, my brain fogged there a bit. Right, so we are at C14, it was C11 originally, obviously the stand has changed since then. We're even going to take a look here at the prices. Yeah, so 5 quid for a Red Bull. We know to walk away. I don't drink Red Bull, but it's always a good gauge. Yes, and now we're in the old part of that here. As you can see here, a lot less modern. So I forgot that we had this, so this is where all the European short haul flight stuff is, along with the old KLM fleet. So although we're on the A321neo, so the A321neo started coming into KLM there about 6 months ago. So they're relatively new, so they're less than a year old. So these are the phase out, the 737s that they have, which is a fleet of 700s, 800s, and 900s. So there's only 6 700s. So then also on the KLM magazine, I was reading on the plane yesterday, there's some interesting facts to bear in mind. So they do kind of use predictive analysis to determine how much food they need to bring, how much drink they need to bring. There's even food like beer and wine, which I didn't know about. Had I not budgeted for being dehydrated, having no drink. Meantime, we'll look at the beer, but beer does hydrate you. Not the biggest fan of pineapple, I think there's better beers out there, in my honest opinion. So, I think we're essentially here. The only issue is I don't think it's worth its charge, so finding an outlet's going to be a bit of fun here since, as you can see here, this is an old pier, although okay, here's a charging station. Presumably there'll be something similar further up. And then yeah, we have quite a bit to wait. Our flight's at 7:10 at the moment. It's only 5:17, nearly 2 hours. So boarding probably starts around 6:40, maybe a bit earlier. Because it's the first flight of the day, so the aircraft's there ready to go. So yeah, definitely very different deal. We're not being spoiled with the fancy schmancy building where the long coach makes sense. Long coach stuff. Because usually you get the really flashy stuff. So at the charging station there. We'll take refuge there for a bit. There's some sort of a massage or sleeping port thingy. But yeah, as you can see, it's people here already surprisingly. Gate closed. Let's even see if it's a flight there. Might be some flight that's leaving at 5 or 6. So maybe loads of time before we head off. Oh no. So the gate opens a whole hour before. And outside the parts half an hour before, yeah, so I was really mixed up there. So yeah, not too bad, 50 minutes.
All other smaller pieces of hand baggage should be placed under the seat in front of you. Thank you so much for your cooperation. En nogmaals een hele goede morgen en welkom aan boord voor de vlucht naar Rome. Wij verwachten vandaag een vrij goede vlucht en ervoor te zorgen dat wij op tijd kunnen vertrekken vragen wij hulp bij het opbergen van uw handbagage.
Destination Rome. At this moment we are ready for departure, but due to the traffic density at this airfield, we are in a little waiting queue of a few minutes before we can start our engines. In a few minutes we will then start our engines for a short taxi time and take off in a southwesterly direction, followed by a few turns to exit the Dutch airbase at the easterly side and continue our flight towards the westerly part of Austria and then towards the destination Rome. Flight time 1 hour and 55, and during the flight we'll come back to you and provide you some more details and an accurate arrival time. But for now, thank you for your attention in the present flight. Dames en heren, voor de vlucht gewenst.
Een speciaal welkom heten aan onze Flying Blue deelnemers. En naar mijn bericht in het Engels zullen wij u iets laten zien over onze veiligheidsvoorschriften aan boord. Good morning dear passengers, my name is Saskia van Zullen. On behalf of Captain Blom and his crew, I would like to wish you a warm welcome on board on this flight to Rome. And we would like to extend a special welcome to all our Flying Blue members. In a few moments we would like to start with some instructions about our safety regulations on board. We care about your safety and therefore we ask you to stow your hand baggage and larger electronic devices such as laptops during taxi takeoff and landing. Small electronic devices may be used at all times when set in airplane mode and secured in your hand or pocket. After selecting airplane mode, feel free to turn on Bluetooth and please make sure your device is visible at all times when charging. Charging of electronic devices is not allowed during taxi takeoff or landing. And if your device produces smoke, gets hot or shows signs of damage, unplug the device from charging immediately and alert the crew member. And please let me remind you that smoking is not allowed on this flight and this also applies to vaping and the use of other electronic cigarettes. It is also prohibited to consume alcoholic beverage brought with you on board. And we will now demonstrate how to use the oxygen mask, the life vest and other safety procedures. This will be done in English, but should you have any questions afterwards, please ask our crew members. Please fasten your seatbelt now. This is how to fasten and tighten it, and this is how to open it. We now demonstrate the use of the oxygen mask. If there is a decrease in cabin pressure, your oxygen mask will drop automatically. Pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen and place the provided oxygen mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. And secure your own mask first before helping others. We will now demonstrate the use of the life vest. Put your head through the opening and fasten the strap around your back and attach it in front. Make sure to tighten it. When you're at the door opening, inflate your life vest by putting the red tag, and if necessary more air can be released via life vest by blowing into the tube. Contact with water will automatically switch on the light, and the life vest is located under your seat. In the unlikely event of an evacuation, follow the illuminated escape path to the nearest exit. My colleagues are indicating where the lights and the nearest emergency exits are located. Be aware that the nearest exit might be behind you. Leave all your hand baggage behind and follow the instructions of the crew. We advise you to read the instructions on the safety on board card. You can find the card inside the seat pocket in front of you. Now it is time for our final cabin check. Please make sure that your tray table has been stowed away and that the back of your seat is in the upright position. Make sure electronic devices are disconnected from any power supply. Thank you for your attention. On behalf of KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, we wish you a very pleasant flight to Rome.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
moment the fasten seatbelt sign will be switched off. However, we do recommend to keep your seatbelt fastened well seated. And please be careful when opening the overhead compartments as items may have shifted during takeoff and fallout. And on this aircraft you can make use of Wi-Fi. Please take advantage of the option to send and receive messages for free. You can connect your device to the KLM Wi-Fi network or check the in-flight magazine in your seat pocket for more information. van Rome. Het is bijna 5 minuten over 9. Wilt u uw handbagage opbergen in de bagagebakken of onder de stoel voor u? En maak uw stoelriem vast, zet de rugleuning van uw stoel rechtop en koppel uw elektronische apparatuur los van de stroomvoorziening en klap het tafeltje weg. En neemt u de kaart met de veiligheidsinstructies nog eens door. Laat in het geval van een evacuatie alles achter en volg de aanwijzingen van de bemanning. We will soon arrive at the airport in Rome. Please stow your hand baggage in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. Fasten your seatbelt, adjust the back of your seat to the upright position. Disconnect your electronic device from any power supply and stow your tray table. And please reach safety board cardigan. In case of an evacuation, leave everything behind and follow the instructions of the crew. If you already have a boarding pass for your next flight, you can proceed directly to the next gate. Your luggage will be sent on to your next destination automatically. If you have not yet received a boarding pass, please report to the transfer desk. Als u een instapkaart heeft voor uw volgende vlucht, kunt u rechtstreeks naar de volgende gate gaan. Uw bagage wordt automatisch doorgestuurd naar de volgende bestemming. En indien u nog geen instapkaart heeft, verzoeken wij u zich te melden bij de transferbalie. Welkom in Rome. Blijft u alstublieft nog even zitten met uw stoelriem vast, totdat de verlichting van de stoelriem vast is uitgedaan. En let op bij het openen van de bagagebakken, er kunnen spullen verschoven zijn en eruit vallen. Nu kunt u de netwerkverbinding op uw telefoon weer aanzetten. Andere elektronische apparaten moeten opgeborgen blijven tot ze bij de gate aankomen. Namens deze gehele bemanning hartelijk dank dat u met KLM is gevlogen en fijn dat u vanochtend bij ons aan boord was. Wij wensen u een goed verblijf in Italië of een heel voorspoedig vervolg van uw reis toe. Heel graag tot ziens. Welcome to Rome. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the fasten seatbelt signs have been switched off, and please be careful when opening the overhead compartments as items may have shifted and could fall out. You can now switch on the mobile services on your phone again. But other electronic devices must remain stowed until we arrive at the gate. On behalf of this entire crew, we thank you for flying KLM. It was a pleasure having you on board with us this morning. We wish you a good stay in Italy or a pleasant onward journey. We hope to see you again soon.
Vai ver algumas coisas diferentes, tem lugares pequenos que conseguimos, não sei.
AMS Airside.
So we have landed in Fiumicino in Rome. Fiumicino being a city beside it. We're at the bus stop here, absolutely no information. It's a bit of a nightmare. Went to the stall, bought a ticket. It's when you're saying 70 on the website. The website you can't open, doesn't work, no real-time information. Google Maps is saying the bus is every random hour. So it's like every 50 minutes, then every 10, and every 50. Not too impressed with public transport here, or the information, but sure, what can we do now? We put out Fiumicino, hoping to kind of get the lay of the land. So yeah, I'll tune you in once we're on the bus. The bus finally arrives, but people are asking whether it goes to Fiumicino because it's just very confusing and the bus signage doesn't really help at all. That first bus wasn't the bus, we had to wait for the next bus that eventually came. I asked the conductor what the frequency was and he kind of said it was every 50 minutes, although it didn't really turn out to be that. This old bus even has charging ports. So folks, we're in Fiumicino. Annoyingly, I had recorded a minute of footage and my microphone had turned off, so it recorded nothing. When just default to the phone microphone. So basically, a bit of a disaster here trying to get the buses around. So that's usual. Ah, okay. Grazie. My 2 or 3 words of Italian. Yeah, so this is Fiumicino. Basically, there's a good little train down that way, and there was a port and a sea, so I'm just going to check that out. We have an hour to kill. The bus back is at 12 o'clock. The buses are the conductor said every 45 minutes, so that's the conductor, but it's not like that. It's basically completely random timings, no information whatsoever. The bus showed up literally 10 minutes after the bus we were on, even though it's meant to be every 50 minutes. The service in Fiumicino is just mad. So microphones just decided to give up. They said you don't need a charger, but I think you do. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, we got ourselves a San Pellegrino cocktail here. It's flavoured, I think it's a flavour of grapefruit, it's bitter, and some sort of Aperol. Plus have a white chocolate croissant. Didn't have time to eat it in there. One thing I'll say is people here are super friendly, so like, you know, I mean, generally trying to speak Italian there, but you know, they'll speak English to you, even if they don't understand much, they're putting in the effort. So very impressed with, like, you know, the level of courteousness, definitely among the highest level of, like, you know, courteousness in the countries I've been to. The buses are a bit of a disaster, so there's a bus that passed by there, the microphone just decided to cut off, so it didn't record any sound, but that passed by there 10 minutes after the next one, even though it was meant to be at 12 o'clock. So not sure what's going on here, the bus is a bit hit and miss. I'm going to try and just see the stuff here and, you know, give ourselves some of the... So folks, here we are in Fiumicino. That's the seaside. I thought there was a beach there. That's just a port. So this is a very industrial city. There's some sort of docklands there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to circle back here and walk up back the kind of what do you call that thing? It's like the dock. It's like a bay. So yeah. So like the docklands. It's kind of like basically it splits the city into two. I'm not sure if it's a river. It might be man-made. But yeah, it's absolutely roasting here. So I do feel like I'll be fried very soon. So yeah, not quite what I was expecting Fiumicino to be. But there you go, this is what Fiumicino is. We'll turn left there and then walk straight back up and then we'll catch the bus from there. So that will get some pictures of the trains. And then that train that I saw when we were passing on the bus. But yeah, this is Fiumicino. This is the marine. I think there is a beach somewhere. It must be further down. But look, I'm not too fussed about the beach right now. Just wanted to get a vibe of what Fiumicino looks like, because it's a big enough city, has 80,000 people living in it, 80,000 inhabitants, and obviously the airport is named after it. So yeah, we are kind of walking now on a random stretch of roads exploring the city. So this microphone I bought need to read the instructions properly. Maybe I misread the instructions, but the battery life was shocking. I used it for probably half an hour to an hour and the battery just died. Maybe it just wasn't fully charged. But it's just a bit annoying because if you can't trust it, then if you start recording something, it doesn't record sound. You can't always see if it's connected or not because it says it's a fly on my arm. It says that it's you know, using the USB device because you plug in the USB thing, but then you don't actually know if it's communicating with the microphone itself. So I don't know what they're doing here. Looks like some sort of construction. Looks like they're building something up. But yeah, I kind of don't want to run it too much. I'd rather just wait at that bus stop because I just don't trust the bus times. And to be honest, I think I've gotten enough of a vibe of what the city of Fiumicino entails, and I think I might have gone a bit too far into the outskirts because like, the bus circles around. So what the bus does is, I think the bus is a circular route. Honestly, it's a bit confusing if I'm quite honest. I really need to be wearing shorts. This is horrendous. But look, sometimes sacrifices have to be made. I shall survive. Let's go this way, walk up to the port, and then that will bring us to basically just kind of the centre. Give you an overview from Fiumicino, and then we'll just wait for the bus, maybe find a little pizza place. Italy does have good pizza, or even a gelato. That white chocolate croissant was quite nice. I drank that whole thing. I'm not even a big fan of bacon stuff like grapefruit juice, like meh. But that's how warm it is. Just drank the whole thing. There's still a bit of an aftertaste, but honestly, it doesn't feel as much as the heat. Actually, there's a water fountain there. We have a glass bottle, so might actually fill up my thingy with it. And if there's a bin, it'd be great because I have a suitcase here holding the rubbish and a glass bottle. All a bit of a disaster. So there we go. That's what it's about. The only problem is, yeah, that's not going to work. It's pretty much probably should have just checked in the suitcase, to be quite honest. There's the pier. Yeah. So anyway, figured out a solution there for our bottle in one of the suitcase pockets. So let's just take a look here at the docklands and at the port. This is not quite what I envisaged climbing up, so I just won't bother climbing up that. So yeah, down there is kind of the sea edge. There's some boats. This really isn't what I imagined. I don't know why. I kind of expected it to be a bit prettier, if I'm going to be quite honest. But it's interesting. The harbour's kind of like in the centre of the town. But one thing I like is how they have proper like ramps for everything. I don't know why. It's only for my suitcase, although I did smash the wheels because there's a bit of a gap between the road and then the thing evened off. God, do not wear dark blue in this here. I do have white that I need to change into once we arrive in Bulgaria, but that's not just there yet. Anyway, we'll walk up this road, we'll reach the bus stop, and I think I'll just call it there. I drank a whole bottle of water there, and I'm still feeling the dehydration coming very, very soon. I can just feel the heat scorching on me. Oh, this guy's turning, no indicator, nothing. So actually I ran into an Irish couple there. I think I might have said this, so I'm not sure if this is the one that knew it or not. And they were asking me how they tried the taxis here. Obviously I'm just here for a layover. But they're saying that, yeah, the taxis here, they drive very liberally, let's put it that way. They haven't got a worry in the world. The peel of sunscreen melting off my face as well. There's a bridge, you go up that bridge, get a nice picture. I guess one nice thing is here, if you miss the bus you can always kind of run across and catch it on the other side. But yeah, that's one thing they were saying, is that the taxis do drive very quickly and a bit crazy, like very close up to the cars behind. I was saying, at least you know then they're not like scamming you, because they're going to get you there quickly. You know, sometimes taxi drivers will take you through the long route, etc, etc. You see there's quite a lot of water fountains, obviously you need them in this heat. I was going to show you that bottle, but I was like, actually keep that bottle. You're gonna need it to eat in this heat. So as you can see here, we're in Fiumicino. I guess it's nice to take off though, having seen somewhere like, because I was curious to see what it's like. I've seen what it's like, and honestly, you can see it in an hour. And that's a nice thing. So instead of just sitting in the airport for 5 hours, twiddling my thumbs, you know, trying to sleep and failing, or just like wasting my just doom scrolling. I don't really like doom scrolling, or just, you know, texting. You can actually go here, explore somewhere that otherwise, let's be real, I at least probably wouldn't have come out here. Like, this is the nice thing about layovers. Sometimes they kind of make you go visit places you generally wouldn't really think of visiting. The other issue is it is nearly 12 o'clock. 12 to 3 are the worst hours to be out in the sun. Fun facts. Okay, so just getting some pictures there. So we got those. What time is it? I need to keep an eye on that time. It's 11:18. There's still time. But again, these buses, a bit all over the place, kind of have a mind of their own. So I rather kind of just read it early than not. Because kind of I've already got the vibe of this, seeing it for what it is. There's an aircraft taking off. There's aircraft taking off like every minute. That's some sort of not 777, 787. The Dreamliner. This is a pretty cool bridge. It's quite high up, obviously. I would assume the reason for that is so ships can go under without it having to fold. Yeah, look at that. Quite the workout getting up it and back down. I love getting a picture on a bridge. It's just iconic. So that's Fiumicino. That there, if you look that way, is west towards, I think what's west of Italy, Spain. That'll be east towards Albania. That'll be north, and that'll be south. Right, so we got the pictures of the bridge, and this is quite steep going down. You'll see people climbing up here with their bikes, but then cycling down. When I say climbing up, that means like walking up and pushing it. Right, so now let's just walk up to the train, and then at that, just play it safe, because I really don't want to be stuck here in Rome in this heat, and I have a flight to catch tomorrow as well at 6 AM. And up next will be our first time flying on the Italian flag carrier ITA Airways, although it's technically owned 41% by Lufthansa, the Germans, and some other privateers, but like these days most flight carriers are owned by the States. So yeah, that bridge up there looks kind of cool. I think the centre's towards there anyway. So yeah, it's a nice kind of a Italian harbour town. Like here it's looking a bit nicer and better. I just can't wait to get back into the airport with air conditioning. The bus was interesting because the bus was quite old, but it had USB ports, and I plugged in my phone just to, you know, I was like, this is definitely not going to work, but sure, no harm in trying. Surprise, surprise, it worked. So yeah, they've retrofitted them with USB ports, and they have internal displays. I just don't understand. I don't think the internal displays were quite correct, because they're kind of showing the same sequence of stops, which is why I was getting confused. And oh, there's some fresh fish, I presume, caught from nearby. But essentially, what that meant is that, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, so basically, it's just odd because you think instead of doing an internal display on the bus, they do an internal display on the bloody bus stops. Because they did have them for the Rome ones, but not the local buses. And there are people who want to check this out, like that Irish couple I was talking about. They had a layover here as well, and that's why they're like, oh yeah, I had to check out Fiumicino because you have only 1 or 2 hours, you can't go to Rome, but you could check this out. And this is still pretty cool to kind of see. But anyway, folks, the train's just up there. I'll show you that. I think this is some sort of square, and then I really need to take refuge in the shade. This can't be healthy, being out in this sun. So yeah, this is the town centre. You can see here a statue of Fiumicino, a su figure, I don't know what that is. I don't speak Italian, some of it's similar enough to Spanish, so you know, I can kind of understand necessarily all I think the plane announcements kind of boosted my confidence a bit, because obviously, as I said in first in English, you kind of know what the words are, but that's a bit of a cheat. Let's just walk on this side. And under the canopy, as you can see, it's so warm that no one's out in the cafes, no one's outside. And like, you can't really blame them. So yeah, there's the train. There's a bus stop near here somewhere, and honestly, let's just wait for the bus. I know it's probably, I think it was like 11:50 on this side, but better play it safe than sorry. And I've had kind of enough to see here. You could also see someone from the bus. So folks, hopefully you enjoy this kind of video. Do you enjoy when I actually do this trip report? So I don't just show you the flights, but I also show you kind of before and after, and kind of just give you an overview of the cities. Kind of like doing this kind of vlog style stuff. I do tend to kind of, you know, still maintain the transport focus, whilst also kind of doing travel and tourism part. So hopefully we find the tap somewhere here, and then that's it. I think I've been videoing 10 minutes of this. I need to kind of keep my battery. I presume there will be someone to charge my phone in the airport, and there will be someone to charge my phone on the bus. But even still, it's always good to take these precautions. So here is our train. This is it. Tourist information. Take a look at all angles, and then I'm heading to the bus stop. Look at that. That's all in Italian for someone that speaks Italian. Historic train. Take a picture of that if you want to read it at your own time. It's way too warm to be trying to read that. That's what it looks like inside. That's it here. You'd be absolutely roasting driving that thing in summer. I say roasting would be pretty much dead. But I like this, it's kind of cool. This caught my eye. There's a supermarket. I think I can get the bus going back from this side. So folks, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this trip report. And make sure to subscribe so you can stay tuned for the next trip report, which will be showing you the ITA Airways flight on an Airbus A321neo 2003, taking us from Rome to Sofia. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what you think of Fiumicino. Bye for now.